Hello all my beautiful little unicorns and welcome back to my channel. My name is Vanessa Samina and I have dedicated my psychic abilities to helping you find more clarity in life, heal yourself, as well as become the person you've always dreamt of being. And today's topic has been highly requested by all of you throughout my last videos, and as you guys know, you ask for it and I create. So I'm proud to announce that in today's readings I have your 2022 career, finances, studies, and health predictions. And in order to help you figure out what is coming towards you in those areas of your life, I have prepared 4 groups that you can choose from, and I would like you to pick one of these 4 groups intuitively. So just go with whichever group that you intuitively feel drawn towards and whichever group that you feel really vibes with you. So the 4 groups that I have prepared for you today are as follows. Group number 1 corresponds to the Shamanic Medicine Oracle cards, as well as the Red Jasper. Group number 2 corresponds to the Pastel JourneyTarot deck, as well as the Geode. Group number 3 corresponds to the Sacred Destiny Oracle deck, as well as the Celestine. And last but not least, group number 4 corresponds to the Queen of the Moon Oracle deck, as well as the Angel Aura Quartz point. The timestamps to all 4 groups can be found down below in the description box as usual, as well as pinned to the top of the comment section for quick and easy access for all of you. So all you need to do is click your timestamp and you'll be fast forwarded to the relevant part of this video. But before I get into the readings, I would like to take a moment to thank today's sponsor for making this video possible. I would like to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Fabulous. Fabulous is the #1 self-care app to help you build better habits as well as achieve your goals. So I have personally been using Fabulous for quite a few months now. I have actually experienced amazing results when using Fabulous to build new habits, to track those habits that I'm trying to build and integrate into my daily life, and also move on to stick to those habits so they're like second nature to me now. And some of you might have seen this on my Instagram. Part of my morning routine is meditating, showering, doing yoga, drinking water, and having a healthy breakfast. And I really used to struggle to stick to those things and do them unfailingly every single day. I had tried other self-care apps and self-development books, but nothing really encouraged me and gave me such gentle, loving support as the Fabulous app. And what I mean by that is that using the app is really rewarding. No matter how big or small the win is, Fabulous helps me celebrate all of my successes regardless of their size. Another thing that I've really enjoyed has been the daily coaching that's included in the Fabulous app. I've had a real life coach before, but I found that having daily reinforcement from a coach in the Fabulous app really does help keep me motivated as well as inspired. And I love that the coaching sessions are just 2 or 3 minutes. It's not too long. I don't have to block out an entire hour of my day. I can simply take in this inspiration in little bite-sized portions and do that while I'm getting ready for the day, or while I'm having a cup of tea or enjoying breakfast, and fuel my conscious mind with something of value. So the Fabulous app does not only help you to keep track of habits, but it also helps you learn something new every single day. But now it's time for you to try out Fabulous, and this is the perfect time of the year to do so by setting yourself up for success and create habits that really stick this time. You can start building your ideal daily routine now. Click my link down below in the description box to get 25% off your Fabulous premium subscription. So this is a complete investment in yourself, your mental health, as well as in the upcoming calendar year. So if there's one self-care app that I strongly recommend, it's Fabulous. So make sure you use my link down below in the description box and try it out for yourself. I promise you won't regret it. So thank you once again to Fabulous for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back into your readings. I'm going to give you a moment to meditate on the 4 groups. Feel free to pause the video right here if you need to. After all, these readings are here to serve you, so make the most out of them. So by now you've hopefully selected one of these 4 groups. I will be going into the reading starting off with the first group, which corresponds to the Red Jasper. So if this is the group that you chose, then you can keep watching. And to all of my other beautiful groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello, group number 1, and welcome to your reading. You chose the Shamanic Medicine Oracle deck in conjunction to the Red Jasper in order to help figure out what is coming towards you during 2022 in your career, finances, health, as well as studies. So let's move straight into it. I will be starting off by showing you a close-up of the crystal of your choice. This is the beautiful Red Jasper. This is a highly energizing stone, but also a stone that helps kind of suction in any unwanted lethargic types of energies for you. Let's move into your reading to figure out exactly what 2022 is going to bring you when it comes to all of your earthly affairs. First up, we've got soul retrieval. So in soul retrieval, I can see here that you will be able to reclaim your power in 2022, especially when it comes to your finances. So if you felt as though your finances have been all over the place, or you're just constantly procrastinating things that you know you need to do in order to reach your goals, such as, for example, studying in order to pass tests, or setting financial targets and saving goals as well in order to be able to afford a vehicle or a home or whatever it is that you'd like to save for long term. Know here in soul retrieval that you will be able to reclaim your power and also figure out what the blockages are that are holding you back from accomplishing those things, right? From being not hard on yourself, but holding yourself accountable for your actions when it comes to your earthly affairs and also how you're treating yourself. I can see here within the insects that you're being supported in many little ways during the year 2022 when it comes to your health, your finances, but also your mental health. So look out for all of those little tweaks and things that people are doing to support you more than they ever have in the past. Now, group number 1, that could be checking in on you a little bit more. That could also be your place of employment adding an option for you to take a mental health day or to take care of yourself first. It could be at your school or wherever it is that you're studying that all of a sudden people are starting to speak about what mental health really means and how we can better support that in society. I can see here within the Death card, which is actually a positive card, group number 1, so make sure that you don't feel any way about this other than the fact that 2022 will have you fully leaving the past behind as you've known it and moving forward a completely different person when it comes to your earthly affairs. So the Death card speaks not only of transmigration, but also a complete rebirth and a full circle moment, if you will, where you all of a sudden feel like you have more of a plan on how to move forward. And you feel like it's a full circle moment, but you're starting out on a completely different level. And looking back at the beginning of 2021, when you're doing that during 2022, you are truly going to feel like you've come so far, and you're going to see how much more potential that you really have if you simply allow for yourself to follow through with this transformation. So more reading, more self-care, more self-development and growth can harness that power that you need in order to reclaim your finances and also be competitive in the workspace. Next up, we've got the journey. So in the journey, I can see here that creating some sort of vision or manifestation board is going to be a big game changer for you when it comes to your finances and also the journey that you're on when it comes to your professional life and your career. I have a video on my channel actually where I show you how I created my 2022 manifestation as well as vision boards. I will leave the link to that video in the description box so you can check it out and learn how to create your very own vision and manifestation board for 2022. Do you understand here within the journey that anything that you can imagine is something that you can accomplish, and there are lots of people who have proven that to be the case in the past. Just think about a time before we had phones, before we had the internet. If someone would have said to you that there once will be these little devices that we now know as phones that can just slip into your pocket or your bag, that doesn't have to be connected to anything, but you can access a plethora of information anywhere through that device. You can listen to music, you can watch movies, you can literally learn anything you want to learn. You can build a business from your phone. I mean, 30 years ago, people would have said that that's crazy, that it's impossible. Think about what people would have thought 50 years ago. But someone envisioned it and someone created it. Literally every single object that you see around you, look around you, group number one, that was once someone's imagination. Whatever surrounds you right now, or even the device that you're watching this reading on, that was once just someone's imagination, and someone had to go through the journey to making it a real, tangible thing. So never ever feel as though there's anything in your imagination that is too big to be accomplished or to be created. Remind yourself here that literally every object that you have purchased, that you own, that serves you, is something that someone had to come up with. And the next person to come up with something life-changing and reality-changing, that could be you, group number one. I can see here within the Six of Pentacles that you're giving a lot during 2022, but also receiving. So receiving more time in order to make your money moves, receiving more of a opportunity and possibility to show what you're made of, will create more of financial abundance for you than you expected. And I can see here within the Magician that just has your confidence filling up more and more. Your confidence cup, so to say, is going to be filled to the brim, group number one. And that is exactly what you need in order to be successful professionally and in your career. You have to believe in yourself. You have to be confident in your ideas and abilities. And I can see within the Knight of Swords, then that is exactly who you're becoming. So having any sorts of fears of maybe not being enough, not being smart enough to pass exams, or not being suited for a senior role at your work, I can see that more and more of those thoughts that have been holding you back are actually falling away, and you're taking a step and a stance against those thoughts, and you're reminding yourself that in order to have other people know and believe and understand that you are in fact worthy of the time of day and worthy of being a leader and of all of the things that you've always dreamt of possessing and accomplishing, you first have to believe that yourself, group number one, because if you don't believe in yourself, how can you expect anyone else to believe in your abilities, right? So I can definitely see in the Nine of Wands that 2022, you're going to feel tired by the end of 2022, but it's definitely going to be because of all this transformation and change that you're going through and the reclamation of your power in the earthly realms. All of that takes a lot of energy out of you. It takes a lot of time. But if you've ever completed a big project or just done something, accomplished a really big goal of yours, you know that once you get to that point where you have it, and you've accomplished it, it's almost like a big exhale moment. Yeah, you're really tired, but you're also really proud. That is the feeling that I see here for 2022, that you will be able to rest on, and that is going to be basically the outcome of your finances as well as your career. I can see in the Builder that you're very much focused on creating, you're focused on long-term creation and gratification, so you're not going to try to build anything for the short term. Anything that you build or come up with during 2022 is a long-term project. It's not something that you're just trying to do for the moment. Any business that you're building up, you're not going to be feeling like you haven't done well enough if you're not a multi-billionaire by the end of 2022. Quite the contrary, you understand that really big changes and steps forward and money moves are made one step at a time, right? It's just one foot in front of the other, and also through accumulating a lot of positive and good habits, because the people who you look up to financially, the people who you look up to maybe academically, it's not something that they were able to do overnight, and we all have different things that we need to learn and unlearn. If you grew up in a family where you're the only one who has accomplished a lot financially or academically, you had to teach yourself almost everything by yourself, group number one. If you were in a family where, for example, eating unhealthily or smoking or drinking was encouraged or the norm, and you're not doing that, you are the one to break that cycle, and you're the first one to lead a life without it. So it's like you have to figure out everything for yourself. You don't have a role model in close proximity that can show you. You don't have someone who is right there by your side telling you all of the little tricks and the ropes, which is why it's so important for you to continue to read, listen to podcasts, and educate yourself, because you're teaching yourself so many new things that no one else can. I can see here within yoga that picking up on yoga and just deepening your practice in 2022 is actually going to have a really positive effect when it comes to your career and your finances. Know here that stretching, exercising, and moving with your breath is actually something that isn't just a gimmick or people don't just say. It does truly change your life for the better, because it brings you into the present moment and allows you to be a lot more mindful, a lot more understanding of what you're going through, understanding of your feelings and emotions. You can ground and center yourself when you practice yoga and other types of healing body works. So during the year 2022, you're combining not only going for what you want in your career and financially going after what it is that you desire, but you're also taking good care of your physical health and combining physical and mental health with one another. And that type of union is what I can see causes this death card to show up, this rebirth, because you're no longer taking those things apart and putting mental health in one box and finances in another. You understand that you're only as rich as you are healthy, right? Because there's no point in having all the money in the world or all of the credentials that you can possibly have if you're broken by the time that you get there, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling like you're so tired that you can't even make use of your accomplishments or let alone enjoy them. So it is so important for you to put your mental health first, because you understand that other people will not unless you speak up, and you do this for yourself. And you also understand that there's literally no point at getting to your goal if it costs you your mental health, your peace, your liberty, and also your physical well-being, because a lot of physical ailments actually start in your mental realm. They start in your head, and they then manifest into the physical reality. And maybe at some point I will talk about that, because I've had a really heavy and traumatic experience with that, where a type of mental block with generational trauma had actually manifested into a physical ailment that was really serious, to the point that I had to get surgery for it. So do take this very seriously, and don't let this come to a point where you're sacrificing your mental health just in order to grow your business, to make more money, to get more credentials, to make it further in your studies. It is so important that you don't end up being broken or physically ill by the time you get to where you'd like to go. I can see here in the violet that tranquility is an important part of 2022 and your career, group number 1. Keep that in mind, having some tranquil, quiet moments where you can reflect and meditate. Those are worth their weight in gold, as I can see here in the Tarragon that we've got regeneration. So this is what we've been talking about all this time, how important it is for you to regenerate, how important it is for you to take time to chill, to relax, and to recuperate yourself, because you cannot just constantly be in fight or flight mode, or just constantly be working your tail off, group number 1. It's so important for you to remind yourself that any creator or anyone who is successful at what they do, whether they are an athlete or a business person, needs some time to kind of recoup and to start afresh again, which is what we're talking about here within the Fool. This is the Fool card, which stands for a fresh beginning, and this works really beautifully with the Death card as well, right? And also with the start of a new calendar year. It makes sense why the Fool would show up, but the Fool also means that You'll experience a childlike sense of wonderment and this feeling of being ready to embark on a new adventure in a fearless way and in a way how you trust that you're going into the right direction. I can see here within the Temperance card that it's important for you to put mind over matter during the year 2022, and also to allow for your rational thoughts to guide you a lot. Usually on my channel it's all about your intuition, but I can see here that rational thinking is just as important in 2022 for your career and your finances. I can see in the Magician, which already showed up here in the Tattoo Tarot deck that we used first, again, supreme confidence, which means you going up in the ranks, you becoming a manager, you overlooking a lot of other people's work as well, and people trusting your opinion and trusting your expertise. That is what I see in the Magician. In the Suit of Elixirs, and to be more precise, the Four of Elixirs, I can definitely see here that it's super important for you to take time off before you feel like indulging in anything that is unhealthy, because you will feel very inclined to, for example, drink more alcoholic beverages or have a lot more caffeine or eat unhealthily, just using a lot of stimulants and kind of, how should I say, just patching up your feelings with substances is something that you will end up doing if you don't take good care of yourself in a holistic way. I can see within the Knight of Coins that there's definitely also someone who inspires you. Don't mind these cards, they're a bit more morbid looking, but as you know, I like to be very diverse here and use a lot of different illustrators' cards, so I definitely don't want to rule anyone's illustrations out. So the Knight of Coins actually stands for you meeting someone who has earth sign energy, who inspires you and really supports you. So this could be a mentor type of person, and just overall someone who has accomplished things that you're still looking to do that can give you really great tips and give you a lot of hope. That is what the star stands for. So group number 1 in the star, your hope is always with you when it comes to your career during the year 2022, and it gives you that push and that extra motivation to move forward on your path and to never give up. And a really great documentary about never giving up and pushing forward that I just watched recently, it's called 14 Peaks and it's on Netflix. I would highly recommend that you watch it, group number 1. You will feel so motivated for your career, for your finances, for your health, for your mental well-being, for like literally everything for 2022. Is honestly one of those documentaries that just sticks with you. So I would highly recommend that you watch it if you haven't already seen it. If you end up watching it and you remember that I sent you, leave a comment down below as well, or just let me know how you liked it. So group 1, this is your 2022 career and finances prediction. I hope that you enjoyed this reading and that you found it insightful. Let me know down below in the comment section, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Furthermore, note that I have a lot of 2022 predictions on my channel, so if you found this one helpful and you vibed with it, make sure that you check out my other predictions. Thank you for being here and for spending this divine time and space with me, and I'll catch you during one of my upcoming readings. Hello, group number 2, and welcome to your 2022 career and finances prediction. You chose the Geode in connectivity to the Pastel Journey Tarot deck. Just FYI, if you're completely new here, you may not know that this is actually the tarot deck that I authored, and I'm beyond excited to be looking into your 2022 career and finances using my own deck. So first up, let's look at the Geode. The Geode is actually a crystal that helps amplify the energies of everything that surrounds it, especially other crystals. So group 2, if you have other crystals, if you own any other crystals and you want to amplify their energies, then I would highly recommend that you place a geode near your other crystals, because its shape makes for a very powerful manifestation tool and stone. And if you're looking for a crystal just like this one in size and quality and look, this is from my store, bowlife.com, so you can find that linked in the description box as well, because I know a lot of you always ask me where I get my crystals. Well, having my own crystal shop kind of really helps with sourcing amazing pieces. So let's move into your 2022 career prediction so we can figure out what is coming towards you. So first up, we've got the Wheel of Fortune, the Queen of Swords, as well as the Two of Pentacles. So first off, what I can see in the Queen of Swords in connectivity to the Two of Pentacles is that you're going to be very vocal about the fact that you are not going to clean up anyone else's mess during the year 2022 any longer. If someone wants you to stay at work for longer, or if someone is trying to tell you, hey, I think you should do this or that project, and it is actually their project to finish, you're not going to take other people's responsibilities onto your plate whatsoever. I can see here in the Queen of Swords that you're going to make it very clear that if anyone wants you to work more, to put more hours in, or to sacrifice the time that you would otherwise spend just sleeping, eating, living your life, group number 2, that they're going to have to compensate you or either give you more time off later on. As I can see here in the Two of Pentacles, that you're not playing these games anymore. You're not playing these games of overworking. You're not playing these games of simply putting work or studies at the forefront and that being the epicenter of your life. You also want to live your life. And I can see in the Wheel of Fortune that you might be having a lot of thoughts in connectivity to the Queen of Swords that circulate around you thinking, well, if something happens to me tomorrow or I'm gone tomorrow, what will I really feel about how I've lived my life? Will I feel like my life was fulfilling, or will I feel as though I was simply constantly working towards something, working towards that promotion or that degree or my own business and never living in between? You want to live while you're on the journey, because life really is just a journey. A lot of people don't accomplish their biggest goals until they have far progressed into their life, and you in the Wheel of Fortune are trying to focus more on what makes life fun, interesting, on doing things in between to actually have you feel like you're fully living your life and not just working to pay bills, not just studying or getting degrees so that you can say you have those degrees, pay bills, pay taxes, and not have much time left over for yourself. I can see here within the High Priestess that you are taking this very personally, group number 2. And by taking this very personally, I mean you understand that other people might not agree with the fact that you feel maybe there should be more vacations, there should be more opportunities to travel, to see the world, but you're making it your personal mission to make yourself proud during the year 2022 when it comes to your experiences and how you're spending your time. I can see, we've got the Two of Pentacles again, group number 2. This is a card that speaks of balance. You can see here, it kind of represents the same thing, right? Whether we've got the Tattoo Tarot here on the left or the Pastel Journey on the right, you can see that it's a balancing act of money and time and things in the earthly realms. On one hand, of course, you have to value money, but on the other hand, also value your time, because your time, that is invaluable. You cannot purchase more time. We all have a finite amount, and way too many of us are giving up our time for money. We're simply trading our life for a check, and your life is worth so much more than 10,000 a year, 50,000 a year, 100,000 a year. Whatever the number is that a job or someone is offering to pay you, remember that you feeling like you have a good balance and purpose far exceeds whatever number that may be. I can see here in the Five of Wands that some people simply won't understand what you're doing. You will be passing up an opportunity during the year 2022, group number 2, that is not understandable to many, because you're being offered great benefits, a great job, a lot of money, but you're passing up the opportunity because it's more important for you to follow your dreams. And that's something to be really proud of, and that's something that not many people can say that they would do, and it shows immense strength mentally because you understand that doing what you love is going to give you the financial results that you seek sooner or later. But simply just trading your time for money is going to have you feeling exhausted and also have you feeling as though your life is not as worthy as it really is, right? Because you're giving it up just in order to make more. I can see here in the 5 of Swords that you have, of course, bills that simply need to be paid. Group number 2, that is undeniable, and you're definitely going to make sure that you can put a roof over your head. But the conflicting point in the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Wands happens when there's no passion there. So when you're just being offered a lot of money to do something that compromises your beliefs, your integrity, everything that you stand for, that type of conflict is something that just does not work for you. It's not something that you're ever going to compromise on or be okay with just turning a blind eye. The 6 of Swords shows me here that going through a phase where you're wondering whether you made a mistake passing up a high-paying job or just a job that really upped your standing in society, you're of course going to ask yourself whether you made the right choice. You're of course going to wonder whether it was a mistake or whether you are in fact crazy, especially when you have other people telling you that they would have compromised their beliefs just in order to have more money or to look better in society's viewpoint. But I can definitely see in the High Priestess that sticking to your beliefs is what you're doing during 2022 when it comes to your career and your finances, and you're sailing through any weather, no matter how stormy it is, and no matter whether you feel as though you've maybe made a mistake in between. Music is going to help you out of any rut. I can see that your connection to music is definitely very healing, not only to yourself, but also to others. And your connection with music may even prompt you to start to create your own music or just deepen your musical practices. You may bring more instruments into your life and start to practice more different instruments. And I can see here in Time to Decide that you understand that you just had to make a decision based on your heart's true desires, not what other people would do or what society is trying to say would be best for you to do for your finances and your career. You simply had to make your own decision. So whether that was to turn down a high-paying job or to quit studies in a certain field where you simply just did not feel held, you did not feel supported, you felt like people were talking about things that are so besides the point, and you had a completely different idea for your life. And it's important for you to decide to be pro your life at that point in time and to not waste your life away simply taking or doing what society is kind of pushing you to do. I can see here within the tomato or tomato, however you prefer to say it, group number 2, that love is an important aspect of your career. So you may actually meet a lover during 2022 who works in the same field as you do or is going through the same kind of situation that you're dealing with. And I can also see here in love that that is what keeps you going. What reminds you of the fact that your core beliefs are important, and it is so valid for you to want to work a career and a job or study something that makes sense to you and that you truly believe in, and not just something that sounds or looks good. I can see here within the grape that while there is a rough patch in 2022, there's no other way to put it, and I wouldn't be a good reader if I wouldn't tell you that, group 2. So do know that while there are rough patches where you wonder whether you made a big mistake, there's also so much abundance coming for you. And I can truly see here within your reading, group number 2, that there are a lot of similarities that I feel like I went through as well when deciding to pick a career that really resonates with me, not one that I felt like my family, friends, parents, or society wanted me to go down. And at first it was scary. I, of course, asked myself if I had made a mistake. But all of the abundance of love, support, as well as financial freedom that has come with it ever since then is really unmatched compared to what I could have done if I continued studying something that I wasn't into, or going down a career path that simply wasn't cut out for me. And here in the time, of course, it's going to take courage, just as it took a lot of courage also for me to step into my truth and do my own thing career-wise. It will take a lot of courage for you to do so, group number 2, during the year 2022. But it is a very life-changing time for you. It is a time where you understanding how far your courage can get you, and that literally all you need is to just be brave and you can change your life forever or for the better, is actually going to empower you and make you so much more productive. And also, when you have some pressure on you when it comes to your studies or your finances, or for example, you quit your finances or your job and your back is against the wall, and it's either you make something work, you build a business, or you find a new job that really suits you and resonates with you, or well, there's no or, right? There's no alternate when your back is against the wall and you need to keep a roof over your head. So that's when I can see here in the Kent pumpkin that your ideas and your productivity is activated. This is not a situation in 2022 where your back is against the wall and you're simply just going to shatter or crumble under the pressure. You're actually going to see how capable you are of coming up with things under pressure, how capable you are of changing things around, of accomplishing great things, and of working under pressure, of inventing and creating and reinventing yourself under pressure, group number 2. So this is by no means a sob story year when it comes to your career or your finances. This is actually a year in which you find out more than ever how courageous that you are, how productive you can be, how many things you can really get done in a day and in a year, and how that translates into abundance. So you're actually going to accomplish way more than you had set out to accomplish, just from the mere fact that there was no other way when your back was against a wall other than to be successful. So if you set your goal at, for example, making 6 figures a year, you're going to far exceed the low 6-figure number, and you're going to be somewhere in mid-range, maybe even 7 figures that year, group number 2. So that is, of course, just an example. We all have individual goals, but do know here in the 9 of coins that this is basically a foreshadowing of financial abundance and safety that you have here. Okay, you have far more things than you need. You're not worried about how you're going to keep a roof over your head or purchase food. And I can see here in the Hanged Man that that is a situation in which you can then comfortably rest, in which you don't feel like you're walking on eggshells or like it's a really strenuous balancing act anymore. So 2022 is a big progression for you, group 2, but I do see here in the Magician that it's so worth it, because you're going to tap into so many different areas of yourself that you just were not used to or were not aware that existed. So the Magician shows me there that your courage is going to actually turn into this new self-confidence that is the norm. So things that once took a lot of courage for you to do, I can see that after doing it a couple times and after seeing, hey, when I have no other way out and my back is against the wall, somehow I still make things work. That is when you understand when you can take calculated risks, and the fact that you being confident about those risks being worth it is so important and are actually a vital ingredient to your success. I can see here, last but not least, in the Strength card, the group 2, 2022 is going to require a lot of strength from you, a lot of mental strength especially. And that is one thing that I also see here in the Queen of Swords, which corresponds to the Suit of Swords, which again connects to the element of air. The element of air speaks of your mental realm, your mental strength, and how you're doing on the inside. And I do want you to know here in the Strength card that 2022 will require strength, but will also build a lot of strength in you. A safe haven for you is definitely music and also love, a very loving environment, a loving partner, and a romantic situation that supports all of the changes that you're going through in your career and your finances, because there will be some rough patches, and there also, of course, will be that turnaround where you will find that you succeed, you're victorious, and you see a return on your investment. So all of my beautiful souls in group 2, this is the reading that I received for you. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Make sure that you leave a little grape emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you were here and that you made it all the way to the end, and also to just manifest a little more of that abundance, group number 2. Okay, so manifest it by leaving the grape emoji in the comment section. Thank you so much for being here and for spending this divine time and space with me, and I'll catch you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your 2022 Career, Finances, Health, and Studies prediction. You chose the Celestine in conjunction to the Sacred Destiny Oracle deck. Let's first do a close-up on the crystal of your choice. This is the beautiful Celestine. I absolutely love its baby blue color. It is just one of those stones that is so eye-catching, and I absolutely love keeping Celestines in my bathroom because I find that it brings very calming energy to the space. So if you have a Celestine and you're wondering where you could put it, try putting it in your bathroom, try putting it near a tub. If you own a tub, group number 3, trust me, it's going to transform the entire energy of the space for you. But now let's get into your reading in order to figure out exactly what's coming towards your career and professional life during the year 2022. So first up, right out of the pile, we have the abundance card that popped out. And group number 3, that card showing up as very first card, as well as just popping out of the deck, shows very forcefully that when it comes to your career as well as earthly affairs, that things are going to be looking up and there's going to be more abundance here for you than you ever expected. So 2022 is like you hitting the jackpot. It truly is like a gateway to a new realm. It's like you're moving up socially, moving up financially, and you're leveling up in a way that has longevity. So not just having more money to spend on items that you don't need or things that simply make you look good. You're actually able to invest in things that have real long-term effects on your life positively, such as, for example, stocks, real estate, and businesses, investing in yourself and learning new things, such as getting extra credentials for your job. And I do want you to know here in the gateway as well as the abundance card that already right off the bat, we can see that 2022 for your career and finances is going to be amazing. I can see that you're protected from any type of shortcomings and from any financial downfalls during this upcoming year. I do also want you to know here that in connectivity to your health, mentally and physically, you are protected. Now, that doesn't mean that you should go nuts and not be healthy at all and simply kind of treat your body in a way that isn't respectful, but it just shows here that even if you're going through a rough patch and you're overworking yourself or you're feeling a little low, you're not going to spiral into a crazy depression or into a space where you're actually unwell. You're going to be protected. Nevertheless, group number 3, try to ensure that you don't take this for granted, and that rather than going hard on your body and, for example, drinking a lot, not working out, or eating unhealthily and getting away with it, you use this extra energy and protection that you've been given in order to run the extra mile and in order to learn more, to grow, and to invest in yourself as well as your financial future. I can see here within water that we have very expressive energy coming from you, and I want you to know that here connected to the Celestine, this definitely shows that you are an emotional being, financially speaking. You are not going to invest your time or energy or money into anything that just doesn't vibe with you or feels wrong or off. You're not going to invest into any businesses where you feel like there's something shady going on. And do also know here within water that you're going to be be very honest and simply express it. So if a friend comes to you and is telling you that you can make all of this money together, or there's a quick way to getting rich, and you innately feel as though it's a scam or some sort of scheme, you're not going to say, oh yeah, I'll think about it. You will literally call them out and just tell them, look, this is not a good thing. I'm definitely not going to partake, and I would advise that maybe you don't do that either. And I can see here within the offerings, you've got wealth coming your way, group number 3. So 2022, this is like such an amazing reading for your upcoming year. When it comes to earthly abundance and wealth, you're having a lot of offerings coming your way. So, for example, a lot of people trying to get you on board working with them, a lot of people trying to pay you for your services, and just overall having money come towards you and having you attract things into your life because you no longer need to chase them. In the insects, do know here that if certain insects seem to follow you everywhere, be it a butterfly, a spider, a dragonfly, or even a roach, this is actually a sign from the universe that you are being supported. Okay, this is a sign that right now, when it comes to your energetic flow, you're being supported in your ventures when it comes to your businesses, because you're also aligning all of your beliefs with what you're doing financially, right? We spoke about it earlier, group number 3, that you're not going to partake in any type of business practices that you feel are shady, or where you feel like it's not really in alignment with what you stand for. And I can see here within the insects that you are going to be supported along the way in doing so, because that is a very strong way for you to operate. And I can see here within the fig that actually gives you so much vitality. Just think about it, group number 3. If you know that the business that you're involved in is healthy, is good, and provides some sort of value to this world, and you don't have to wonder how you can sleep at night because you know that anything you're involved in financially is the right thing to be doing, of course you're going to feel like getting out of the bed every single morning and being excited about what you're doing for yourself financially and what you're providing to the world with your career. So do know here within the fig that vitality is something that also helps protect you physically from any type of ailments. So your health is in a good place in 2022 as well, and it's looking more up the more you're in alignment with your belief system. And in Dahlia, I can see here that rather than, as already mentioned, spending money on unnecessary things to look a certain way to portray yourself as successful, you're more about refining your financial habits and investing for the long term, ensuring that you have more financial security and stability even in the next decades to come. As I can see in the cause lettuce that you have this desire to do so much more than just impress people in the moment. You're not about trying to look rich or wealthy while actually being broke. You're not interested in wearing a mask when it comes to your finances. You are actually more looking at living below your means so that you can save and you can continue to set yourself up, group number 3. So this is a very mature, beautiful way for you to act during the year 2022, because it shows that not only do you understand that happiness and fulfillment comes from within, but you're actually practicing this when it comes to your earthly affairs. I can see here and talk to your angels that instead of worrying, you're asking for divine guidance. And instead of kind of worrying during tough times where the wealth or the abundance is going to come from, or when the gateway is finally going to open itself up to you, you are talking to the universe and your angels. So as you know, group 3, my channel is open to absolutely anyone, whether you're religious, non-religious, or you're just kind of stopping by, seeing what tarot and oracle cards have to offer for you. I do want you to know here that as long as you believe in the unseen and mysterious energies that are inexplicable and a lot of things happening for a reason, even though we can't really say why, whether that is through a higher power or just cosmic secrets that have not yet been revealed. Here in talking to your angels, I can see that rather than feeling like you have to figure out everything by yourself, you sometimes also just like to leave it up to mystery, to life to solve, and you know that you're going to be okay, and you know that justice is something that is going to be served. As I can also see here within justice, that not only do you know that being a good, kind, caring person is going to protect you moving forward, but I can see here that your career is also one that brings more fairness and protection to others who need your help. So you're the type of person whose career is going to actually fill this world with more kind energy, with energy that shows that it's important to protect others who are less fortunate, and that just overall also has a lot of selflessness in it. Because whether you're making a lot of money or not, which you are making a lot of, group number 3, you still put human decency before that, and you always have time for those in need, and you always make time and space for people who you know really need a shoulder to lean on or to cry on. In the creative expression card, I can see here that your soul has been longing to express itself in a creative way more, and in 2022 you have the financial means to do so. So if you, for example, always wanted to create art in a professional manner and have like canvases and fancy colors and all of that, or you, for example, always wanted to record a song or to do something artistic like interior design, do know here in creative expression that you have the resources to do so. So this is going to be a great year when it comes to focusing on things that you otherwise couldn't have done because you never had the money, but you finally can, and that's where you're putting your energy into. And I see here in the Four of Wands that that is going to make you feel so victorious, because you don't want to buy fancy clothes or cars or a fancy postcode to impress other people. You want to impress yourself, and you want to fulfill dreams that you've had ever since you were a kid. And everything that you do comes from a place of really wanting it for yourself, not because other people would feel a way about you being wealthy or leveling up or having a lot of abundance in your life. As I do see here in the Hanged Man that actually not a lot in your life is going to change. You're going to spend just as much money on eating out and groceries and clothing and all of those types of things. You're not going to suffer from lifestyle inflation, which is what happens when you make more money but you also spend more money. So you're in the same position as you were when you had less money. That's not happening for you, group number 3, as I can see here in the Hanged Man, that you're quite comfortable living your life a bit more minimalistic. Okay, you're quite comfortable being in a place where you're not taking any financial resources that have increased for granted, and you're not overspending. Yes, you're maybe giving yourself something nice every now and then, but you're not making it the epicenter of your life to just own a bunch of fancy things. I can see here within the star that you know that there is just so much more to come. So 2022 is just the start of your financial freedom and abundance and the wealth that you're building, but you know that there is still so much for you to accomplish and so much for you to learn and to do. So you see yourself with a big business empire, with a real estate empire, with a lot of ways how you're generating income and being able to retire early. And those are all things that you're working towards. These are all ways in which you want to set yourself up. And 2022 is like the starting point for that. It's the first time that you're truly seeing results. And I do want you to know here in the Emperor, to close off your reading, group number 3, this is a confirmation of you taking the lead and not being afraid. So in the past, you've always wondered whether you'd ever be like famous or wealthy or ever be set up in a way how you're financially secure and also have financial freedom. And in 2022, it is the first time that you actually believe it, that you can see it and you can feel it. You know it's going to happen for you. You know exactly what you need to do, the time that you need to invest into growing, into learning, and into ensuring that you stay very grounded and humble in order to get there bit by bit and step by step. So 2022, group 3 is looking super prosperous for you. It's looking like you're leveling up financially, you're leveling up your social status while still remaining humble and grounded and still ensuring that you're not suffering from that lifestyle inflation where all of a sudden you spend a lot more unnecessarily just because you've got more resources. No, you're using those resources in order to generate more resources and in order to generate stability for yourself in the long term. So also investing in other types of things like insurances, investing in other ways how you can secure yourself and your finances in worst case scenarios. Those are areas in which you're maybe increasing spendings, but you can afford it very comfortably, and it doesn't really count as you inflating your lifestyle because it is really just you taking precautions and also protecting the assets that you're building during the year 2022. Any studies that you're doing, they will of course be successful, and I can see that people will already want you to work with them even if you're maybe not quite done studying or educating yourself. There is a gateway and a portal that is opening for you to enter the business world successfully. So group 3, this is the reading that I received for you. It's a very favorable one, and I hope that you enjoyed it and that you're happy with the reading that you received. Thank you so much for being here and for spending this divine time and space with me, and I'll catch you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your 2022 career, finances, health, and studies prediction. You chose the Queen of the Moon Oracle deck in conjunction to the Angel Aura Quartz Point. Let's do a quick close-up of the crystal of your choice. This is the absolutely gorgeous, stunning Angel Aura Quartz Point. Look at it. I love the iridescent sheen to it, and just overall how elegant as well as still very strong that this stone looks and feels. But let's move into your reading in order to figure out exactly what's coming towards your finances, your career, and just overall the earthly part of your life during the year 2022. First up, we've got the new moon. The new moon stands for new beginnings, which is also why it is so important for you during the new moon to let go of things. So journaling about what you want to let go of, and also doing different meditation and mindfulness practices that allow you to let go of people who don't serve you or a past that has troubled you is a great way for you to utilize the potent energies of the new moon. But do know here that as a whole, during the year 2022, it's going to feel like a fresh start, a clean slate, and a new beginning. So if you're moving into 2022 with any type of financial baggage or any type of health baggage, do know here that it will disintegrate sooner rather than later, and you can start on zero and begin to build. I can see here within the waxing gibbous 2 that this is going to bring you a great amount of not only pleasure but also a lot of motivation on building a future, building your career up, as well as excelling when it comes to any type of studies that you're doing or any type of academic aspirations that you've had. The waning crescent 5 shows me here that you've been wanting some peace for a long time. Okay, you've been wanting some peace of mind when it comes to some certain financial issues for a while, and the new moon shows me that 2022 is going to give you just that. So even if you or a close friend or family member is going through some sort of lawsuit, know that 2022 is finally going to bring that to an end, and justice is going to be served, and you're going to find that you feel super peaceful because that is something that is no longer living in your head rent-free, as it has been dealt with, and you can now move forward. In the builder, I can see here that you have this ability to build and create something that brings you a deep sense of accomplishment. So think, for example, building your own company or building your resume when it comes to your work experience. The builder shows me here that you're going to create something with longevity during the year 2022 for your career and your finances, and this is going to further feed into your new beginnings and the fact that this is like a fresh chance, a completely new chance at becoming the person who you want to be in your career and in your professional life. You're on the right path, group number 4. That is a message that that you were meant to receive. Keep doing what you're doing because it's working. Even if sometimes changes feel minute or teeny tiny, do know that changes and improvements, they're not always linear, can't always measure forward movement in different areas of your life. Sure, you can measure how much money you have in your bank account, or for example, what the weight on the scale says, but that is often not a real reflection of what is happening in real life and what you are really building. Just think about it this way. If you're, for example, focused on being healthy and either losing or gaining weight, then the number on the scale doesn't always actually reflect real health, right? You may be gaining weight, but you're losing fat because you're building muscle. So while the scale may show that you're not losing weight as quickly as you maybe wanted to, or you're not losing a lot of weight, your weight may remain completely complacent, but then you look in the mirror and you're getting more toned, you're getting more lean, you're seeing how you're actually building muscle mass and getting rid of fat, just as an example. So do know here that often when you're on the right path, you can't measure every single moment and things fluctuate. The same goes for you building a financially stable ground for yourself. Yeah, of course, while you've invested in studying and you maybe have things like student loans or there are courses that you're taking, you have to invest a lot of time into learning, into becoming financially literate and intelligent. You won't be able to immediately see how much you're making, right? Because first you've got to study and learn, and then you'll be able to move on to implement that knowledge. And often it's months or years or even decades until you can actually see how much you're making financially that shows that you're on the right path, but you didn't know that while you were studying and learning, right? So knowing that you're on the right path is something that comes from within. And yes, this does give you confirmation to keep doing what you're doing because it's working, but also check in with your intuition and your gut feeling, as it's often a very valuable tool to help guide you in the right direction for your financial safety and stability. But keep in mind here that when you want to create something that can outlive you and that lasts, if you want to create a legacy, you often have to build for many, many years without any financial return or rewards. Next up, we've got the onion. So in the onion, I can see here that you're protected and these new beginnings have come to serve you, group number 4. Remember, we spoke about the new moon and how 2022 is going to be a new financial beginning for you, and any kind of debts that you've had are going to be cleared sooner rather than later, and moving forward you will feel more protected and like you have a proper plan on how to slowly but surely get yourself to a financially comfortable place where the numbers aren't just becoming more and more red, but everything is more and more in the green of financial abundance. The violet shows me a new sense of tranquility, so things that have to do with money, they don't stress you out as much during 2022. You have accepted certain aspects of finances, like for example, that if you want to save, you may have to give up certain things that were luxuries before, or if you want to build your own business, you're going to have to work for free for a very long time until you actually see returns. And coming to a place of tranquility and peace about those truths is so important because it allows you to fully focus on building, and it allows you to fully focus on all of the little building blocks, creating them and ensuring that they are solid. So moving further into your reading, we've got the stock, which shows me that you're highly focused, group number 4. So while 2022 may not be the year where you hit the lottery, you're sure working on it, okay? You're very much in the space where you're building this future. So just think, for example, starting up a company or moving into the work world and rounding up studies or your education, being really focused on what you want to build for yourself, knowing that you're in the right path, staying calm even when life has its ups and downs, financially speaking, because you know that as long as you're really focused on the outcome and keeping your eye on the the prize, you will get there, just as many have gotten there who have come before you. I can see here within the sorrel that it's also important for you to show some affection, okay? Because tranquility is something that can cause you to be a little bit stoic and a little bit, how should I say, cold, removed from situations. So while you are a lot more calm than you've ever been, and some people may actually even whisper behind your back like, hey, what's up with them? Why are they so chill all of a sudden? Why are they so cool with all the outcomes? Why do they somehow have this energy about them that shows that they're okay no matter what happens? It's important for you to still show affection to coworkers and also family and friends and spend time with them, as I can definitely see that some will worry about you just because they have never seen you the way you are or you're going to be in 2022, group number 4. So stay in close contact with people who care about you and people who are very close to you, and give them the time of the day, because earthly affairs definitely also concern who you spend your time with. And if you all of a sudden kind of draw back, go into hermit mode, into your little cave, and you're not talking to anyone, some people may think that you're going through a really tough time when actually you're just so focused. So try to just inform people of it and to make sure that you keep everyone up to date on what's going on in your life. In the 5 of Swords, I can definitely see that for group 4, you are going away from this place of feeling defeated and also feeling like you haven't accomplished enough, being disappointed in yourself, because maybe in the past you have thought, well, now I am 18 years old and I'm still not famous, or I still don't have a successful company. Maybe you've thought to yourself, I'm 25, I'm 30, and I'm still not where I want to be financially. I'm not married, I don't have any children, I don't have the career that I want. Whatever it is that you have felt bad about, I can see here that that is also crossing into a new beginning with the new moon, where you're leaving that behind and you're not focused on what you haven't accomplished or what you feel like you should have accomplished but you're not there yet. You're focused on having fun and understanding that different people mature at different times. Some people are not meant to be in a committed relationship or to own their own business until later in life, because they're learning very valuable lessons. But someone who has owned a business for, say, 30 years may not accomplish as much as someone who has only owned a business for, say, 5 years, but they were truly ready and mature enough to do it, and they have learned a lot beforehand before they started with their own business ventures. I can see here within the 6 of Cups that you have this innate ability to give but also receive. I can see here that a lot of people are giving you great advice, and this is another thing that helps you in your career because you actually listen, group 4. You're not the kind of person who thinks that they know it all. You're not the type of person who feels as though you always know better. You're very open, you're very grounded. You're the type of person who is humble enough to take another person's advice and see the good in it. The 5 of Pentacles does show me that you may get burnt along the way as well. And this is normal, trust me. Group number 4, owning my own business, I have definitely made mistakes financially that have made me sad or that have made me feel like I should have known better. But that's the whole point. And that's one thing that I want to share with you that is a valuable piece of information that I feel a lot of people forget to talk about. The whole point of life is the struggle. If everything were easy, then we wouldn't feel this sense of accomplishment when we graduate, when we get a promotion, when we do something that changes our life and the lives of those around us, when we really make a change in this world. So keep in mind here that the whole point in your finances is the struggle to push yourself, to learn, and to become who you need to be in order to lead a big team and in order to build something that will truly last, because anything that is gained very quickly and easily is also lost in a second. The 6 of Wands here shows me that you pick yourself up pretty quickly. I can see that, yeah, you're maybe annoyed about some decisions that you've made in the past, or you may look into your home, your closet, and think to yourself that you wish you wouldn't have spent all your money on things that weren't necessary, but the Six of Wands shows me that you believe that you can make it all back, that you can make it all 10 times over, and that's an important attitude for you to have. As the Tower here shows this new beginning, right? This do-over that we spoke about in the new moon, and this new beginning happening in a very unexpected way, Group 4. So you will be kind of thrown into a fresh start without really knowing where to begin. So being forced into a leadership position or into having a lot of responsibility with your back against the wall from one day to the next, it's going to stress you out. I can see that here in the Tower. So think someone who is instantly thrown into a position where they have to lead a big team, or you may actually end up having to make your own business successful because you have no other stream of revenue, no other income. So you have to do anything that it takes in order to feed yourself and maybe pets, maybe family members. So in the Tower, I can definitely see that it's not going to be easy. And the Four of Swords shows me that you're definitely just praying that things work out. You're hoping that you will get to a point where all of the lessons that you learned and all of the time that you invested believing in yourself and staying focused, as we spoke about here in the stock, is going to pay itself off. The Eight of Pentacles does show, and it does confirm that through hard work, dedication, and staying on the ball and having routines that you repeat every single day, you will be able to build your skill set in a way that you didn't think possible in such a short amount of time. So you will be able to learn so much about business, so much about how to sustain yourself financially and also create financial freedom. You will learn that in a very short amount of time because you are focused and you're motivated to learn. You're not lazy at all. The King of Pentacles shows me king energy in your finances. You're not playing around. You're here to create a lifestyle and an existence that feels comfortable, that feels like you have accomplished everything that you've wanted to. And the King of Pentacles shows me very strong authoritative energy. It is a symbol of the fact that during 2022, you are going to come out of the year feeling victorious. You're going to end the year on a high note and feeling almost like invincible, like you were able to turn a very difficult situation into one that is truly not only comforting, but also one that you can feel proud of. The Four of Cups, however, shows me some jealousy around you, group number 4. So during 2022, your financial success and the success that you're building for your career and everything that you're doing that's working out, exams that you're passing really well, is going to have some people feeling as though they wish they had that too, and they're asking themselves why you and not them. So you're hitting a nerve with certain people and you will see them reacting in a very strange way, like they simply cannot be happy for you. But last but not least, in the Ace of Pentacles, don't pay any mind to that, group 4, as the Ace of Pentacles confirms the new beginning of a venture that will be a great success. So 2022 for you, group 4, is an amazing year to start your own business. It's an amazing year for you to get into the job world again if you haven't been in it or you were out of it for a while. 2022 is a great year for you to invest in things you've never invested in before. Know that luck and prosperity, those things are on your side, and that because you're remaining humble and continuing to inform yourself, you are able to build something in 2022 that will last and outlive that year. But group 4, it's important for you to stay rooted, stay grounded, stay humble, as I can see here in the King of Pentacles, that through a lot of successes you can go to a place where you feel a little bit invincible, if you will. So continue to remind yourself that when things are going great, it's important for you to focus even more so on remaining humble and also not oversharing with certain people who are maybe not as happy for your success as they should be or as they're trying to seem. So be very careful when it comes to that. Group number 4, this is your 2022 career and finances prediction. I hope that you found it insightful, that it resonated, and that it hit home for you. Let me know down below in the comment section by leaving a little flower emoji. That way me and others know that you made it to the end and that you chose group number 4. Thank you for spending this divine time and space with me. Know that I'm sending you so much love, and I'll catch up with you during one of my upcoming readings.